Hi, it's Emily and this is my full face foundation routine for the summer. These are all products that I really love for the warmer months. I think that they hold up really well in the heat and humidity and last out the day and look nice in the skin. So please stay tuned if you want to see how I got this look. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is to clip my hair back so it's not in my face or getting into the products. And then just take off my glasses. Okay, so one of the first things that I like to do is to put on a little bit of lip balm. I do have a tendency to get really dry lips, and so I like to put on a little bit while I'm getting ready, just so that by the time I go to put on lipstick, my lips aren't so dry. I really like this one. This is the Christian Dior Creme de Rose lip balm. I have a weird thing about touching potted lip balms. I don't like to put my fingers in it, so I always just have a Q-tip with me. And I don't have anything on my face right now, so the first thing I'm going to use is from L'Occitane or L'Occitane, I'm not exactly sure how you say that, but this is the Rice Ultra Matte Face Fluid. It moisturizes and rebalances. So I've been using this just for a little bit this summer, and so far I have really liked it. So I put that on first, all over my face. And then I just go in with my Eve Pearl Anti-Shine Mattifying Gel. And I've talked about this like a million times. I'm absolutely in love with this product. I think it is great. And I just put this on the places where I'm most likely to get shiny in my T-zone, especially my chin, my nose, and my temples. And then I go ahead and put an all-over face primer on. For the summer, I absolutely love this Lorac AquaPrime. I just think that it's really nice. It's oil-free, silicone-free, paraben-free, and fragrance-free. And when it comes out, it's just like a little gel. And so it doesn't have the same consistency as like the Professional and other similar primers, but I do really like it. I think that it primes my skin well, and it doesn't make me feel like greasy or anything like that throughout the day. And the next thing I do is just go ahead in with my foundation. This is the Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Plus. I really love this for the warm weather. Right now I'm in number 20, I believe, which is a little bit lighter for the summer for me. But I just go ahead and put some of this on a damp beauty blender and just dot a little bit of it on my face and just start to sort of pat it in to my skin, making sure to get all the way over to my hairline and down onto my chin a little bit, or beneath my chin. This is sort of wetter liquid foundation than some. It's not like particularly creamy, I'd say it's more on the liquidy side. Okay, the next thing I do after putting on my foundation is to go in with concealer, and I use a couple different concealers for different purposes. The first one is this CoverGirl and Olay Concealer Balm, which I really love, and I like to use this to cover any sort of blemishes or redness. So my chin's been causing a lot of problems for me, so I'm just going to go ahead and put a decent amount of it on my chin, and then I just like to use it around my nose to cover any sort of redness. I do have a lot of redness in my cheeks as well, but I find that once I put on my under eye concealer and any sort of powder products, that sort of blends into the background. So I'm not particularly worried about that at this point. The next concealer I like to use is another CoverGirl and Olay product, and this is the Simply Ageless Eye Concealer. I have it in 205, And I originally tried the corrector shade of this product, and it was just way too yellow and a little bit too deep for my skin, but I am still using this more as a corrector product than a concealer. I'm just sort of using it to hide any discoloration under my eyes. And I don't have a lot of really dark under eye circles. For me, the problem is mostly puffiness, so I find that this works. If you're trying to cover something a little bit darker, then I would go ahead and use any sort of corrector. Like, I like the pink tone Eve Pearl Salmon corrector and Salmon concealer, and then also the Bobbi Brown correctors I think are really nice. So the next thing I do is go in with a brightening under eye concealer. This is the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. I've been using this for a couple of months now and I absolutely love it. So I just go ahead and put sort of in a triangle shape under my eyes. This doesn't need to be precise because you're just going to be blending it out. I also like to dot a little bit on my forehead and down my nose. I find that if the only place that I have a brightening concealer is just right under my eyes, it can look a little bit strange and sort of unnatural. So I just like to go across the bridge of my nose and up onto my forehead, just so that it's really the whole center of my face that is being brightened and therefore brought outward, and not just my under eyes. The next thing I like to do is to go ahead and set that lighter under eye concealer, and what I've been using for that is a MAC powder. It's in Emphasize, and I really like it. It is a pro product, but you don't need a pro card to get it. You just have to order it online. And my favorite way to apply that is with this Sigma Tapered Kabuki F86 brush. And I just dip it in the product and then sort of pat it on. When you're trying to set concealer, you really don't want to be rubbing because you're just going to be rubbing away all the work that you just did. So I'm just patting that out. And I do a little bit in the bridge of my nose. I'm not going to go over this concealer on top of my brow bone because I find that that's just a little bit too much brightening for me. For the rest of my face, I'm going to use the transparent shade of this Rimmel Stay Matte Powder, and I absolutely love this. It's so inexpensive, it's so nice, and it really does help to keep you matte. I'm just using that on a brush from the Balm. This is the Powder to the People brush. And I absolutely love this brush. I feel like it's the perfect shape and size for my face, and it gets just the right amount of powder. Once I've set all of the liquid products on my face, I can go ahead in with any products I'm using to sort of bring back some color and life to my skin. The first thing that I like to do is to use a highlighter. This is MAC Soft and Gentle. Mine has definitely seen some better days. But I'm just going to go ahead and take the Sigma Tapered Highlighter F35 brush and just put a little bit of that on the top of my cheekbones and then up onto my temples. Now, people can highlight and contour a little bit differently based on the shape of their face. A lot of people like to contour and sort of slim down this area of their temples, but because of my hairline and the fact that it kind of comes in and already narrows my face there, I find that it's a lot more beneficial for me to use a highlighter than to use a contouring product right there. The next thing I do is to contour, and I've been really liking this MAC 109 brush. There is a similar looking brush from Sigma that I just ordered, and so I'm going to try that out and I'll let you know what I think about that. So I'm just going to go in with this Too Faced Chocolate Soleil bronzer, which is one of my favorites, and just sort of find the line sort of from the top of your ear down to about the middle of your eye, and then go ahead and buff that out so that you don't have too sharp of a line. And I also like to put a little bit of this on my temples and then down right on my chin, my jawline. Anything you put down there just sort of drag down. You don't want to have a stripe underneath your face. After I use a contouring product, I like to go in with a slightly more shimmery bronzer. This one is the Guerlain Terracotta Light in 02 Blonde. And this is a newer product for me. I got it earlier in July and I've been really liking it. My favorite brush to use with this kind of bronzer is the Sigma Large Powder F20 brush, and I just find that this is the perfect shape and size. So I'm just going to go ahead and swirl the brush in the product, tap off the excess, and then wherever you first put the brush down is where you're going to get the highest density of product. So I'm just going to go ahead along the top of my face where the sun would naturally hit and get a little bit of bronze. I'm also just going to go lightly over where I did the contour just to further really buff that out and make it look a little bit more seamless. You can also go on the tip of your nose, and I like to go a little bit on my chin as well. The last thing I'm going to do is to put on blush, and the color combination for blush that I've been really liking is to first use this MAC color in Sunbasque. And I did talk about this before. I absolutely love it. It's just the perfect like touch of sun sort of color. And I'm going to put that on the center of my cheek and then blend it out towards my hairline. In general, you don't want to go any closer than 2 finger widths from your nose with your blush, or it can look a little bit ruddy. I'm just blending that back. And then to get more of a natural, glowy kind of look, like you're flushed, I'm going to go in with a more pinky red color. This is NYX Pinched blush. I absolutely love all the NYX blushes. I just think they're really nice. But this color is especially good for the summer. And I'm just going to go over where I blended the blush out near my hairline. The final touch for me when I'm setting my makeup is to first go over it and blend it out to make sure that everything is nice and even on my face and I don't have any harsh lines. And then I like to go ahead and set my makeup with the Urban Decay DeSlick makeup setting spray. This is my favorite one. I've also been using Chill, which I like, but it gives a little bit of a different kind of finish to your skin. So this is the one that I prefer for the summer months. Alright, so this is the finished look. This is what I've been wearing a lot during the summer as sort of a full face foundation routine that looks brightened but still sort of natural and summery. These are all products that I think hold up really well throughout the day. I hope you got some good recommendations from this. If you have any recommendations for me, just let me know, and as always, I'm going to list all the products down below, so feel free to check that out. Please subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.